vice chancellors in various portfolios represented in this room physically and online, and those who would have not been able to join us, executive management, representatives of various sectors, representatives of student leadership, members of communities, esteemed colleagues, faculty members, students, distinguished guests, good afternoon, and all protocol observed. Thank you very much, colleagues. You would have noted that on the program there is no one introducing me, so I'll take the honor of introducing myself. I am Palesa Sekhejani. I am the Deputy Executive Dean in the Faculty of Natural Sciences. It is with great honor and pride that I stand before you today in my capacity as the Deputy Executive Dean of Faculty of the Natural Sciences. Vice Chancellor, the university's strategy seeks to relentlessly contribute to nurturing and producing future-ready graduates, and it also reaffirms its role in the development of the province as it is articulated in the strategic vision of 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, we reflect on our collective achievements, challenges, and the path forward for our esteemed institution. Our institution has set an ambitious vision set on 9 strategic goals. I hope and believe that we do know the 9 strategic goals of this university, and one of them being teaching and learning. So I'm hoping that I do not have to quote all the 9 strategic, the focus goals for the university. The State of the Faculty address will reflect on these set goals as it assesses the relevance of faculty's outputs, initiatives, and contribution to the dynamics embedded in the university's historical background. Over the past year, our faculty has demonstrated unparalleled dedication to academic excellence, research innovation, and community engagement. We have seen significant advancements in various fields, from groundbreaking research to impactful academic contributions in the fields of computer sciences, physics and mathematics, chemistry, and biological sciences. Our faculty members have published numerous peer-reviewed articles and have made strides in advancing the pedagogy of teaching and learning. Our staff members, as well as our students, the postgraduate students, they also lead by example. I am proud that as the Executive Dean delivers the State of the Faculty, you will get to learn of the staff members that have also pursued and completed their postgraduate studies. Vice Chancellor and the members of the Executive, despite the numerous challenges we have faced as the faculty, including the ongoing unrests and research funding uncertainties, our faculty has shown remarkable resilience and commitment to the university's slogan, "In pursuit of excellence." We have deliberated on considerations to respond to new modes of teaching, strategies to embrace digital technologies, and continued to provide high-quality education, mentoring, and supervision to our students. Our commitment to fostering an inclusive and supportive environment has never been stronger as the members of the faculty debate innovative models of inclusive approaches to attract and retain high-quality students. Vice Chancellor, colleagues, and esteemed guests, as we look to the future of the faculty and the university's aspirations at large, the Executive Dean, Prof. Albert Modi, will invite you to the strategic vision of the faculty through his address this afternoon on imperatives to consider as we build on our successes and address areas that require improvement. The faculty is also prioritizing the professional development of its members, ensuring that they have access to resources and support needed to thrive. Finally, We must strengthen our efforts in promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion within our academic community. As we talk about excellence, Vice Chancellor, colleagues, and esteemed guests, I wish to tender in the apology for a late start. One of those areas we are addressing as a faculty is to ensure that we can be punctual and make meaningful use of our time. So kindly accept our apology for the late start to the program. As we now start with our program, I also want to, colleagues, make a few announcements on the program. Due to time, I would like for us to forgo certain items on the program, and I would call on Dr. Alfred Mapfumo to come and introduce the Executive Dean, Albert Modi. Thank you very much. I will be the program director for this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Riding on the etiquette already established, pleasant afternoon, distinguished guests, colleagues, and students. Okay.
Again, it's my third apology, colleagues and students. I mixed my program. It should be the opening remarks by the Vice Chancellor and Principal, Prof. Songa. Please accept my apology. I guess I'm also panicking with regards to the late start. Prof. Rushila, Vice Chancellor, Prof. Rushila Songa, who currently serves as the first female Vice Chancellor and Principal at the Walter Sisulu University. She has obtained her BA in law from the University of Lesotho just next door, her LLB and LLM from University of Natal, her LLM from Georgetown Law Center, and LLD degree from University of Pretoria. She is an admitted advocate of the High Court of South Africa. Throughout her academic career, Professor Songa has held teaching positions at several esteemed institutions, notably the former University of Durban, Westville, the University of Natal, the former University of Transkei, the University of Limpopo, and the University of South Africa. Her scholarly pursuit has earned her recognition as an NRF-rated researcher, specializing in the domain of children's rights. Beyond academia, Prof. Songa has actively participated in numerous projects in various capacities, presently holding in the position of a vice chairperson at the University South Africa, USAF. She has also contributed to governance during President Mbeki's tenure. Professor Songa's scholarly engagement extends to her role as founding member and editorial board member of the International Journal of African Renaissance Studies, a publication characterized by its multi-interdisciplinary approach. Her academic output encompasses authored book chapters, journal articles, editorial roles within scholarly journals, and reviewing for the National Research Foundation. Beyond her academic endeavors, Prof. Songa has made substantial contributions to the South African legal landscape, and she has provided submissions to the South African Law Reform Commission and authored technical reports for esteemed institutions, including the Parliament of South Africa, the Public Protector, and the Human Rights Commission, as well as the House of Traditional Leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, please assist me in welcoming Prof. Songa to the podium as you give her a round of applause.
You know me. It's not my day today, Dr. Skejan. It's Professor Modi's day. as the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Natural Sciences. And we are here today to listen to him tell us how he is going to lead the Faculty of Natural Sciences. And because we have a vision that he and his team must contribute to, he is going to tell us how he is going to ensure that he contributes, him and his team, to that vision. Tina, we are here today just to listen to him and reflect on how best you are going to help him and his team to succeed. When Dr. Skejana was here and saying continued unrest, I said, we are not in unrest. We are calm now. And the unrest is gone. And we are going to hold those people accountable. So I want us to reflect on how we are going to move forward from now on, and how we are going to help this faculty to thrive. Professor Modi, not so long ago, this faculty was struggling in terms of having staff members at postgraduate level, but I know there's an improvement. And I'm saying this simply to give the context and also to impress on you and your team not to lose that focus of ensuring that our staff members succeed. Secondly, you are a faculty that relies on good laboratories. But I don't want your staff members to not go to work because laboratories are not up to standard. I want staff members to say, this is the problem, and then we see how to resolve that problem, whilst the academic agenda continues. If laboratories are too bad and they pose a risk to our staff members, there are laboratories that are in good condition, that were renovated last year. So, Professor Modi, I want us to move away from owning spaces and saying this laboratory is mine and nobody else can use it. We are not a rich institution, therefore laboratories should be shared whilst we are renovating others, so that people do not stay at home and say laboratories are bad. I am aware that you are introducing or planning on introducing your new programs, including the Agritech, and we are doing our best to help the faculty to succeed. Fortunately, when we come back from the Easter vacation, as I invite you to the MICT conference in East London, we will be in the presence, the minister is going to join us, and we are going to take advantage of that and ask her how far she is with our request to ensure that the program on Agritech is accelerated so that we can begin to offer it in the near future. Colleagues, natural sciences, I always say, and you'll correct me, and health sciences should lead the pack in terms of throughput, in terms of research. I know there's a lot of research coming from this faculty, but I think that more can be done. And therefore, I'm curious to learn from Professor Modi how and what interventions he is going to put in place to ensure that we improve our throughputs. Our research productivity, but also our throughputs, especially at undergraduate level. If there are issues, Professor Modi, I know you know that now. We are always willing to help as the Office of the Vice Chancellor. And I always say that as long as it's a request to enhance the academic project, we're always willing to help. And one of the things that I would like to see across all the faculties is faculties having their own research seminars and monitoring the outcomes of those research seminars in terms of the articles being published in accredited journals. I would like for us not to rely entirely on the research directorate in hosting these seminars. As I stand down, I just want to say to you, last week we received communication from the Department of Higher Education and Training in terms of our performance in research productivity. And you will recall, those who have been here with us since 2019, that in 2019, our research productivity was bad. We were number 23 out of 26 universities. Scotland. It's bad. But what did we do? We said collectively, and collectively is the most important phrase there. Collectively, we're going to work together to improve our research productivity. Today, we are number 16. When I met with Nehau 2 days ago, I told them that in 2030, we're going to be amongst the top 10. I added and said, yes, I have DVC, research and innovation, but andizuhlala and wait and ensuring that you see a move. So I'm going to continue ensuring that we move ourselves from position 16 to position 10. So, Dr. Skejan, your role is to help Professor Modi and the team and the researchers, meaning all the staff members in the Faculty of Natural Sciences, to succeed. Your role is to understand what Professor Modi wants to achieve, and your awareness is to make sure that what he wants to achieve is achieved, and you help him lead the team and staff members to the promised land. Siyabulela.
Vice Chancellor and Principal, thank you very much. And I can assure you that we are taking all the resources to help us focus on achieving that. So I do look forward to contributing to Vision 2030, WSU being part of the top 10. With those few remarks, and thank you again, Prof. Songa, I'm going to request my colleague, Dr. Mafumo, to introduce the Executive Dean, Prof. Albert Modi, and that item will take us to the purpose of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Program Director. One more time. I am privileged to introduce a distinguished scholar, accomplished leader, and dedicated academic in the name of Professor Albert Tembinkosi Modi, the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Natural Sciences. Professor Modi's journey is one of excellence and global recognition. He holds a BSc from the University of Fort Hare, an MSc from the University of Natal, and a PhD from Ohio State University in the United States. With 3 decades of experience as an academic, he has made significant contributions to the field of plant physiology and crop science, with a research focus on indigenous knowledge systems and sustainable environmental management in food science technology and technology. Before joining WSU, Albert, as he prefers to be addressed, served as Deputy Vice Chancellor for the College of Agriculture, Engineering, and Science at University of KwaZulu-Natal. Over the years, he has held numerous leadership positions, including Senior Fellow of the African Academy of Sciences, Fellow of Green Matter, and Chairperson of LEAP Agri, an EU Africa Research Development Initiative. Additionally, he has served as the CEO of the Moses Kotane Institute of Science and Technology and as president of the South African Society of Crop Production. Albert is a highly respected researcher. He has supervised and graduated more than 40 masters and 20 PhD students since 1994. He is actively engaged in national and international scholarly communities, serving as an associate editor for multiple journals, and a member of the Academy of Science of South Africa's panel on agricultural education and training. His contributions have earned him prestigious recognition, including WRS Award for Capacity Development and the Distinguished Alumni of Ohio State University. Beyond his scholarly and leadership achievement, Modi believes in the power of meaningful and measurable leadership. He asserts that, and I quote, "Sustainable impact occurs where there is a deliberate, meaningful, and measurable leadership, governance, management nexus in a healthy workplace environment," unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to welcome a leader of his caliber to share the Faculty of Natural Science State of the Faculty Address.
Nayi imbongi yosiba. Ndiqinqa ndiqenqeleka mna Nqondi. Ndiqeqedisa usiba lwam injongo kokuqondisa imiqondiso kwabo bangaqondiyo. Bexela iqaqa laqika qaqaqa laqabuka qaqanjalo liqatha. Laqhawula iqhosha ukuziqhobosha laqabuka kwele eqawukeni ngathi ngumaqotha aqikile. Nkqo qamata ndangena kheswa umbhali. Bathe bakuva ubungcali nobugorha bakho bakubiza. Uthe wakuva ibizo wasabela. Bathe bakubona amava wakho bakusondeza nawe wamkela awathundeza. Ndiqinqa ngqisha phambi kwakho ndivuyelela. Ndichumisekile mna Nqondi ndasondela. Ndiziva ndiqabadula ndaqhuthuka ndaguqa ngedolo. Wena uliqhawe ukwalilo negorha. Umsebenzi wakho ngumthombo oxolo. Ubunganga bakho buthundeza inhlalo nobulumko. Usisibane esikhanyisayo ekukhanyeni. Imbono yakho ikhanyisa apho kukho isithukuthezi. Ubunganga bakho nobulumko bakho bubo bukubeke kule ndawo kuyo. Ubuqhawe, ubuqaqawuli bobulumko busondele ngakuwe. Uthe wakuva bekubiza wasondela kuba ubuqaqawuli obuphethe ngasemva buza ngakuwe. NdiNqondi Ndiqinqa namhlanje siyaqiniseka unguye wenzaliseko, nguye ozawusinyusa usiphose phezulu. Ndithi qinqa uqiqe mfo kaNtlane. Nditsho wena gqoya kaqala. Ndibiza wena ndithi xhuma amagxa untingele phezulu kwamaxhalanga ezibhakabhakeni. Ndithi yeham ncilili. Yo.
Abaqabaqaba imbola aqeqeshiwe ezingqondweni. Vice Chancellor Professor Songa, Deputy Vice Chancellor Mr. Mpambane, and the other two Deputy Vice Chancellors who assured me that they are with me today. The executive leadership of the university, the executive deans, my colleagues, my peers, my friends, members of the management of this university from all sectors, colleagues in academia, administration, and support services, students, friends of FNS and friends of WSU in alumni, as well as other roles, all protocols observed. I am very pleased to get this opportunity to talk about myself, as part of the Faculty of Natural Sciences, to talk about myself as part of Walter Sisulu University, myself as a citizen of South Africa and a citizen of the globe. When I was requested to think about a state of the faculty address, the person who said he will do it said, "That's all I can say. I'm not going to give you a template." And then I remembered how she boxed me into a corner during interviews. And I said, she doesn't give people templates. She expects people to be themselves as long as they are focused. I just want to relate to you why I've got the picture that I have in front of you, the bottom one, where we've got this picture and this picture. Everywhere I go, I spent 3 days in Port Elizabeth where people were thinking that WSU does not deserve to be in a position where it's supposed to be. And I said, there is no other university like WSU. Sitting, they said, was that we've got that mountain. They said, was that we've got that mountain. Can you bring somebody who's an expert in tourism? I said, I'm going to talk to her. Hikers are going to go up that mountain and somebody is going to allow them to go there. Of course, I said, I'm going to talk about myself. You know, I don't participate in social media, but sometimes when I'm driving alone for 6 hours, I drove 14 hours in the past 2 days between Mthatha and Port Elizabeth, Gqeberha. And I stopped thinking. And every time I think, sometimes I just go to my WhatsApp and I write something. And I got a message from Kenya one day, and this guy said, "Are these folklores or are these your words?" I said, "It's a combination of both." And I know where it comes from. This is not the time for me to say that. I believe that people can be demoralized because someone says, you have to be like so-and-so. And then we've got ad hoc people that will be assisting us in projects. Some of them will be employed by DVC Mpambane to spend time with us, to assist us and guide us. We have professors all the way to technicians in academia. We've got admin staff and so on. So this is the distribution of staff complement in the faculty from from professor to technician. And now, colleagues, if you go to Google or you go to any university, top university, or both in one of them, the branches of chemistry are many. We are very much good in this one. The organic chemistry as well as analytical chemistry, and we also have physical chemistry. And so chemistry has got these different areas, and we do have some equipment, VC, to be able to produce research, but we collaborate with people from outside the university. Of course, physics, it will be very interesting for colleagues who are coming from other faculties to working directly with our faculty. So I'm sure that is working directly with our faculty. So I'm sure that is going to happen because people have agreed. Geography is a very interesting one. It's got many branches, but this is where we are, and this is where we are currently. But all the other sectors of geography are active one way or the other, but we specialize in a few. And in mathematics, we have some of the branches of mathematics, but not all of them. But it's easier to cover all of these in one, but we also have computer science. As I said, we are hoping to have the Department of Agriculture, and I prefer not to spend a lot of time on it because the government has promised that they will finally agree to give us an opportunity to offer agriculture. How can you have an Eastern Cape that has only Forte offering agriculture? How can you have a former Transkei where there is no agriculture and there's so much land and opportunities for the government of South Africa, the Eastern Cape, to make a change through agriculture? So that is the question that we asked them. You did not monitor them, okay? How do you deal with a situation where somebody is sitting, they've never written a single paper, they are not supervising a single student, and the KPAs, the university has got a workload that is there, and you're earning your salary for mahala? You see, so people agreed, they're going to do it, and they told their unions to support us. So the unions are behind us, okay? And so it's not a problem that we don't have a problem of people, VC. We've got people. Now, if you look at these staff complements, one of the things that we need to do as a strategy is transformation. Grow your own timber. Understand the meaning of that growing of own timber. Where is the timber? Sorry, you know, I happen to be a lecturer. I nearly said, Sovieti, answer the question. Where is the timber? Okay. You see, where is the timber? Okay. I don't know, Prof. Tseki, where you sit. I don't know whether you are a timber or a dead wood. I'm between the timber and the dead wood. Okay. But dead wood is very, very important. You are going to be the flame. You are retiring this year. Dead wood become a flame of an honorary professor because I want these guys to be the future professors. I cannot sit with somebody with a PhD and an MSc and they are a technician. And yet this university is struggling to bring people from outside. Okay? So in terms of performance, we also, as a strategy, we need to increase the research outputs, VC. We're going to do that. Here is our research output. I mean, when you look at these numbers, these are the different departments. These are the 4 departments. Look at these numbers. But the challenge that we have, the university rewards you on the basis of publication units. And not because of their fault, not because of our fault. We have a large number of publications, but we are beaten very easily by every other faculty because we bring in 0.25, 0.33. You know, if you've got somebody in this room, I can see her, already in 2025, she's got 4 publications, and then I count the number of people. It's 8 co-authors. And you've got other people who use WSU as a place of sitting. They will not show the name of WSU in their publications. Somebody has got to monitor that, and the VC needs to say, Albert, I need answers. Go back and micromanage them. And VC, I want to share something with you. I came here last year, right? And one of the things that I used to be accused of in my previous life was that I am a manager, an administrator, and a teacher. Dr. Magunje, I saw him here. He always wears a cap, but I don't see him anymore. When I said to them, guys, you're not teaching honors the right way. Look at MIT and Oxford and other places. The reason why your honors students stay here for 2 years and 3 years is because you don't know what is an honors. And then he said, come teach them. I taught last year, and this is the reward that I got. You see, I taught honors last year as a DVC, and I got this reward. Now people are going to do what I tell them to do. Okay? And the second thing is that I say we must participate in research and go to conferences. I went to a conference where the South African government was challenging us to tell them how to take science to the people. We had breakaway sessions. I had a big fight with a professor from Wits. We were arguing about the meaning of a synonym. And I said to him, verification and validation are synonyms. He said, no. I said, what is your qualification? He told me, and in the end, we became best friends. And then after that conference, this is what I got. Okay? It says CPD certificate, NSF, an NSTF discussion forum. This is to acknowledge that Albert Modi has attended the CPD discussion forum and contributed to the writing of one of the chapters for the Public Relationship with Science Conference on the 26th to the 27th of March, 2025. We want people to come back from workshops with certificates and put it in their CV. Don't go to a workshop and enjoy and then allow WSU to give you a 300 rand. What is it? Our lunch. When I got to PEVC, they told me, your dinner is 350 rands. I said, but it's already after 12. They said, well, unlike East London, in PE, we don't give people cash. You've lost it. I said, are you going to give it to my university? They said, no, you arrived late. You see, so we should stop this thing of these workshops that are meaningless. We need to turn successful registration into high performance report. You see, this is why I'm going to be slowing down a bit. Okay? I'm going to be slowing down a bit. I don't want you to focus too much on those numbers. Okay? Look at those numbers of our graduation, but here I'm slowing down a bit. Here's an initiative that was started by our university this year. It's called Best Science Student from Day One. BSc Studio. We addressed them in this room, and they agreed to participate in this program. When we understand this program, we are going to give it to Professor Nguza to make it part of is it Nchayelelo? Yes, they must be part of that. Okay? But we analyzed the data. This is very interesting. I know people are bored. They want to go. More than 80% of the students, we registered 620 students at the time, and they agreed voluntarily to participate in it. And then we said, who are you? We gave them an aptitude test, and this is the number of students, number of schools, rural, public, urban, independent schools. And this is where they come from in South Africa. From day one, they participated. Now we know the quintiles, the contribution of a quintile to your performance in this aptitude test. And so we did that analysis, and you can see here we had distinctions and pass. Pass is 50% and above, and then we had fail, less than 50% you failed. Okay, and so this is an explanation of why a student would perform in a certain way, and consequently, we will then be able to target these students for peer-to-peer mentorship, for participation in the programs of the university, as well as challenging particularly those who failed and turn the situation around by the end of the year. We will follow them until they graduate. So as I'm going towards the next two strategic interventions, I'm not going to repeat the strategic goals of the university, but our faculty says we will measure our performance across all of them. As we speak, this is where we are. Okay? And we believe that by 2027, we'll change things. And it is only by 2028, 2029 that our performance is going to improve. So I will talk about that on another day. And in terms of the progress, and you look at the different departments, the progress is mainly in diplomates compared to undergrad levels. Staff capacity development, we see something that we are very happy to announce that we do. We've got linkages and relationships with private sector to train our staff. And I want to highlight some of the programs that are supported by the university. And this is one of them where we've got 10 million. We are sharing it with other universities, but it is our 10 million. We've got staff who are graduating, both academic and administrative staff. They are training in the right areas for performance in this university. And we already have some programs where we participate as part of the proposal writing. And this one, I think you see the money is already in the coffers. Okay? It's 150 million bucks shared by 6 universities. WSU must get its share. Okay? This one, we submitted a proposal for 1 million euros. 1 million euros. WSU is one of the 2 universities working with Europe. So we want to change the lives of these people through these projects. Okay? We see, I have to highlight this one of Dr. Magunje, where we are part of only 6 specialized areas of nanotechnology. And this is one area where we'll be able to be counted among people who are successful in this country. We see, I'm stopping now. Here is the promise that I make. I want you to make a photocopy of it using artificial intelligence only. Please don't use a camera. This is our performance, 20% of what is expected. Next year, we will increase it to 35%, and by 2027, we will be average, then we get a pass mark. After 2027 onwards, we should excel. And there will be rapid improvement in our performance because of being guided by the university strategic goals. I know that I was too technical and other people probably were not very happy about the technicality of a presentation. I'm a scientist, I don't write speeches. I'm a teacher at a university, that's why I was using a lot of graphs. But I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank the people who organized this meeting, the Vice Chancellor who said, this is my idea, I want every faculty to speak, and I'm not going to give them their template. Thank you very much for your support. And I want to thank you for participating. You moved away from your times. You're trying to catch up with a break, and you thought you would be gone from here by now. We started late, and then this dean doesn't stop talking. But thank you for your time. And I want to encourage my staff, as the VC said, as well as colleagues from other faculties, to explore and discuss some of the issues that we raised here and make a follow-up. And your engagement is very, very vital to the success of the Faculty of Natural Sciences. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the state of the faculty, and I did mention that we have set ambitious goals. Prof. Modi, Vice Chancellor, and the Deputy Vice Chancellors responsible for the research, teaching and learning, as well as the performance of the institution. There you have it. We are not shy to tell it to you that we are committed to improving the status of the faculty, but as well as continue where we are doing well. It is the commitment that all the staff members, including the students of the Faculty of Natural Sciences, will be focusing on. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, students, the next item on the program, it is a message of support, which will be delivered from on behalf of the Executive Director from the Human Resources, Ms. Kokwana, and I will also introduce or let you know that the other message of support will come from one of the DVCs present here. Ms. Kokwana, if you can come to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome her.
Oh, okay. Thank you. A very good afternoon to the VC, the DVC, the executive management, the colleagues of the faculty, and a special welcome and a good afternoon to the colleagues from HR, whom I've just seen here, and everybody else that is here. It was my pleasure to accept an invitation to come here, but I didn't bargain to stand here. But I'm here now. So, you know, the executive management that you see here goes through a very rigorous process before they are appointed. If we know what happens between a female eagle and a male eagle, when the female has got to decide if he should mate with that male eagle, you will know that the process that we undertake has been worth it. You will see that it has been worth it by looking at the caliber that we already have of executive deans, of DVCs, of the VC, who is carrying on a vision that started a long time ago when this university started, when it was even the University of Transkei then. So it is our responsibility as the entire university to support each other and make sure that this vision is carried on. Now, as I stand here, I pledge the support of the Human Resources Department and also challenge all the other departments to say that as we are members of this university, we are like a body as I am standing here. My arm cannot do what my leg must do. My eyes cannot do what the ears must do. So we have to do what we have to do and support each other as much as we can. I have noticed the picture that the executive dean referred us to. The very first picture that he had here where we were saying we are between the Drakensberg and I can't remember the other thing. And we may be looking at ourselves as a very poor province, but our poverty does not mean we don't have resources. And it is the challenge to our university that we must explore those resources and make them come to the fore such that they are helpful to the community and they are helpful to our students, because some of our students cannot even come here because they don't afford it or they don't even know. So it is a challenge for all the faculties to just expand themselves to make sure that they are inviting as many as they possibly can as students and be ready for them and make them ready. For everyone to know, I was a student here some years back and I was doing EPSC. And I must say, I failed dismally. So I ended up changing the course. And I went to the University of the North. And when I see all that is reflected there as courses that are offered here, I think that I would have made it at the time. But it wasn't to be. But I want to repeat that as the Human Resources Department, we are going to support whatever that you are doing. I've heard Prof. Moti talking about adjunct professors, talking about contract staff, and all such things. It is for us to do that. We know that as HR, should we make a mistake affecting a staff member, it becomes a festering sore because we are handling bread and butter issues. But please bear with us. We we undertake to support you as much as possible, and we know that we need you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Thank you.
Ms. Kokwana, thank you very much. And I want to say that we want to encourage you to come. Please don't be afraid. I think there might be some discretionary funds that the VC may consider, towards your support. Thank you very much with those kind words and the commitment to support us as we journey into 2030, Vision 2030. I'm aware that we have sort of managed to catch up with time. I'm going to request a colleague who made use of the word deadwood, as Prof. Modi mentioned that deadwood is quite, it is flammable, it ignites. I'm going to request Prof. Tseki. I know that you had prepared something and we wanted to just really wrestle with time so that we do not inconvenience colleagues that have to drive back to East London. So I plead with you if you could perhaps consider just 5-minute remarks on behalf of the faculty. Thank you very much. Please help me welcome Prof. Tseki.
Well, Vice Chancellor, DVC and your entourage, senior professors, senior academics, senior staff members. Some of us so very glad that, that we squander the time somehow and therefore change the program. But now, of course, it seems like my hopes were a little bit dashed because, frankly speaking, when I was asked to welcome audiences to the talk, I wasn't quite sure what that entailed, except to say, well, as a scientist, you are welcome to the talk, to the state of the faculty address, and that was basically what I was going to say, without going into a lot of details. So, and of course, the other issues that I might have raised have already been overtaken by the, course of time. And so in the interest of time, I don't want to belabor the point and start inventing speeches. People from outside, people from other faculties, our students, I'm glad you are able to sit through the talk, and you are still here anyway. So if I'm not repeating the same talk, you are welcome. We've been happy that you stayed on, and therefore we hope you have taken something out of the Executive Dean's State of the Faculty address. There were a lot of things that I would have said, but initially, but I think they've been overtaken by the course of time. Otherwise, Deputy Executive Dean, I didn't have very much to say in the first place anyway, and then I don't want to belabor the point or waste your time and anybody else's time. I'm just happy that I was able to stand here to honor your call and say again, you are very welcome.
Thank you very much, Prof. Tseki. In one of my meetings with meeting the colleagues who are heading the departments, I said the institution I come from, which I shall not mention, Prof. We have transitioned. I said to them that in boasting about coming to the university, I said, now I will be interacting and working with people who are doing mathematics and physics, no more social sciences. And sorry, Prof. So I want to say that I pride myself in being here, and it is not, it was a joke. It is not meant to belittle any faculty or any discipline. It is just to show that my pride in joining the university and recognizing that mathematics and physics, as well as also appreciating the fact that we have the faculty led by Prof. Bantuni that is also working on these issues of understanding mathematics education. So the executive dean indeed was correct that we have to collaborate in ensuring that we can improve also the performance of mathematics and physics learners in this country so that we can attract quality students into the university. Ladies and gentlemen, as we draw closer to the end of our program, I'm going to request DVC Mr. Mpambani to come and offer us vote of thanks. And thereafter, I will indicate where the refreshments will be served. And again, Prof. Ndlovu and Prof. Bantwini, social sciences are very important.
Thank you, Program Director. Prof. Modi, let me start by thanking you for hosting us. But you see, your words today, I'm sure Prof. Modi could not wait to get to the stage and prove you wrong. Thank you for those words. Prof, I heard you saying, with what you have said here today, you've got your staff members behind you, and you said you've got unions behind you. I'm not sure how long that one is going to last. I saw unions are here. Is the primary stakeholder here students? Hey, I don't see students. It looks like they've went to sleep. Or they are scientists. Raise your hand, students. They're shy. My job, just like Prof. Nseki, is not such a difficult one. It's just that mine is timely, Prof. The job is to thank you, all of you who have come here, and also to just say a few words, because today was such an important day, Prof, that we cannot just leave it at that. The Faculty of Natural Sciences here at Walter Sisulu is also a beacon of hope for many in our communities. And it has such an important role to play, let alone in ensuring that we feed our nation, just as a basic. And I know that this faculty also does very important sciences that most of us will struggle to pronounce if we can make attempts here. And I just want us to leave here encouraged, because I was encouraged. The trajectory of the faculty looks very bright. And I think, Prof, even though I think 2028 is a bit of a distance, but looking at what is already taking place in the faculty, we cannot not be encouraged as this WSU community. One of the things that VC has been on it for years, and I think you are slowing down now, VC, so you have to get up on it, is that pursuit of excellence. VC sees pursuit of excellence sometimes in the midst of almost nothing. and say, no, it's going to be excellent. So when I saw those statistics and I see one and then I see one up, I said, that's in pursuit of excellence. So Prof, thank you very much. And I must say, this was a very good state of the faculty address. It told us what is currently happening in the faculty. It also gave us a little bit of history. It also showed us where we are going. And I, for one, Prof, want to congratulate you. And I must confess, Prof, I was expecting a long one, and I'm sure I'm not alone on that one. So you disappointed some of us. And thank you for disappointing us. And what I noticed before I sit was that in your first slide, you had the face of Walter Sisulu. And Prof, I can only say, it is when we are sitting on the shoulders of those giants that we will be able to see far than they had seen. Thank you.
DVC Mpambani, thank you very much. Colleagues, we have come to the end of our program, but also I just want to reiterate that it would be amiss of us not to thank the staff that worked behind the scene to make this a reality. I'd like to thank the members of our faculty that made this a state of the faculty address to be a success, right from planning the catering, logistics, and also other offices in the university that have contributed their resources to make sure that we can have this state of the faculty. So I want to express my gratitude to all of you whom I have actually not even met, but I promise that I will meet those of you who have played a critical part in making this a success. Vice Chancellor, thank you very much for availing the resources from your office and making time. And I'm not making a vote of thanks, Mr. Mpambani. I just thought that entrusted here from the faculty, let me also just extend and stand on your words and bring this meeting to closure. Just one last announcement. I believe that the staff members of the university have been catered for. I believe the boardroom or the catering area, it's right at that floor, so you'll go up the stairs. Let me thank the students of the university and the faculty that were present here. You are the reason we are doing all this work, and you are the reason that every aspiration that this university has articulated, we know and trust that you will take it forward. The meeting has been adjourned. Thank you.